Everything happens for a reason. Let me tell you something. Those words are easy to say, but hard to believe, especially when life doesn't go your way, when things fall apart, when plans fail, when nothing makes sense. In those moments, you don't see a reason. You see confusion. You see pain. You see disappointment. Now listen carefully. It's easy to believe in purpose when everything is working, when life feels smooth, when things go as planned, but the real test is what you believe when things go wrong, because that's where most people lose faith. They question everything. They doubt themselves. They start to believe that life is random, that nothing has meaning. But what if that's not true? What if every moment, even the difficult ones, are shaping you? What if every setback, every delay, every struggle is preparing you for something greater? Now think about this. Some of the most important lessons in your life didn't come from success. They came from failure. They came from pain. They came from moments you never wanted to experience. But those moments changed you. They made you stronger. They made you wiser. They made you see things differently. Now here's the truth. Life is not just happening. It's teaching you patience, teaching you discipline, teaching you who you are and who you need to become. But you only see that when you step back, when you reflect, when you connect the dots, because in the moment, it rarely makes sense. Now listen, you may not understand everything right now. You may not see the reason yet, but that doesn't mean there isn't one. It just means the lesson is still unfolding. So today, we're going to look deeper, not just at success, but at struggle, not just at results, but at the process. Because once you understand this idea that everything happens for a reason, you stop resisting life and you start learning from it. And that changes everything. Let me tell you something. Life is not random. It may feel that way. It may look that way, but it isn't. Now listen carefully. Most people look at life as a series of accidents. Things just happen. Good things, bad things, no meaning, no pattern. But that's only because they're looking at the moment, not the process. Now think about this. When you're in the middle of a storm, you can't see the direction of the wind. All you feel is the pressure, the confusion, the uncertainty. But step back, look at the bigger picture, and suddenly things begin to connect. Now here's the truth. Life is a process. Every experience is a piece of that process. Every decision, every mistake, every opportunity is shaping something, shaping you. Now listen, nothing is wasted. Not your failures, not your delays, not even your wrong choices. Because every experience leaves something behind, a lesson, a realization, a shift in perspective. And those things are valuable. Now let's go deeper. Think about the moments in your life that changed you, the moments that made you think differently, the moments that forced you to grow. Were they easy? No. Most of them were uncomfortable, difficult, unexpected, but they had an impact. They moved you. They shaped your thinking. They changed your direction. Now here's the key. What feels random is often preparation. Preparation for something you don't see yet. Because life doesn't always show you the full picture right away. It reveals it step by step. Now listen carefully. A missed opportunity might feel like a loss, but it could be protection. A failure might feel like the end, but it could be redirection. A delay might feel frustrating, but it could be timing. And in the moment, you don't understand it, but later you see it clearly. Now think about this. How many times have you looked back and said, I'm glad that didn't work out. I'm glad that happened. At the time, It didn't make sense. But now it does. That's proof. Proof that life is not random. Now here's something powerful. Every experience carries a lesson, but the lesson is not automatic. You have to look for it. You have to ask, what is this teaching me? What can I learn from this? Because if you don't learn, you repeat. Now listen, life doesn't waste experiences. People do. They go through things, but they don't grow through them. They complain. They blame. They move on without understanding. And because of that, they stay the same. Now here's the shift. Start seeing life differently, not as something that happens to you, but something that works for you. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Every setback is a chance to improve. Every moment has something to offer. Now imagine this. You begin to trust the process. You begin to look for lessons. You begin to see purpose, even in difficult situations. What happens? You become stronger, more aware, more prepared, because now nothing breaks you. Everything builds you. Now let me give you something simple. You don't need to understand everything immediately. You just need to stay open. Open to learning, open to growth, open to the idea that there is a purpose, even if you can't see it yet. Now here's the final truth. Life is not random. It is intentional. Every experience is shaping who you are becoming. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner you stop asking, why is this happening? And start asking, what is this preparing me for? Because once you see life that way, everything changes. Everything happens for a reason. Even the things that confuse you, even the things that hurt. Life has a way of guiding you quietly, patiently, perfectly. Every twist, every turn is part of the design. Now listen carefully. Most people resist life. They fight it. They complain about the delays, the failures, the unexpected turns. But here's the truth. Life is not trying to hurt you. Life is not trying to punish you. Life is guiding you, even when it doesn't feel like it, even when you don't understand it. Think about water. A river doesn't move in a straight line. It twists, it turns, it flows around obstacles. Yet, it always reaches the sea. Always. Your life works the same way. It may curve unexpectedly. It may slow down or speed up. It may feel uncertain, but it's flowing toward your growth, your purpose, your greater self. Now consider this. Every difficulty you face, every failure you experience, every setback that seems unfair is part of that flow. It is shaping your character. It is testing your resilience. It is teaching patience, discipline, and focus. Now listen, the pain you feel today is not meaningless. The confusion you feel today is not meaningless. It's part of the flow. It's part of the design. And here's the key. You don't need to control the river. You don't need to understand every twist and turn. You just need to trust it. Move with it. Learn from it. Because life, like the river, has a way of bringing you exactly where you need to be. Exactly when you need to be there. Now ask yourself, what if the struggle you're in right now is the very thing preparing you for your breakthrough? What if the delay is the very thing saving you from a bigger mistake? What if the confusion is guiding you to clarity you couldn't have seen otherwise? That is the secret of life's flow. It may not make sense now. It may feel unfair. It may test your patience. But in time, you will see. And when you do, you'll realize everything truly happens for a reason. So stop resisting. Stop questioning too harshly. Stop trying to control what you cannot yet see. Flow with life. Learn its lessons. Trust its timing. Because life, when respected and understood, will always guide you perfectly, quietly, and patiently toward the life you are meant to live. Everything happens for a reason. Even the delays, even the disappointments, Even the moments you think are mistakes. Life has a timing, a rhythm, and it's perfect. Now listen carefully. Timing is everything in life. Yet, most people fight it. They rush. They push. They demand that life happen on their schedule. And here's the problem. When you resist timing, you resist growth. You resist preparation. You resist the very process that is shaping you. Think about a seed. You plant it in the soil and you water it. But it doesn't grow overnight. It doesn't sprout on your schedule. It grows when it's ready, in its own time. Now listen, your life works the same way. Every setback, every delay, every moment of waiting is like the soil around the seed. It's preparing you. It's strengthening you. It's making you ready for what's next. Now consider this. How many times have you wanted something, rushed toward it, only to see it fail or fall apart? It wasn't a failure. It was timing. Life saying, not yet, not ready. And here's the secret. Patience is not passive. Patience is active trust. It's saying, I may not see the full picture, but I trust the process. I trust the timing. I trust that life knows what it's doing. Now ask yourself, what if the delay you're frustrated by today is the very thing keeping you from a bigger mistake tomorrow? What if the disappointment you feel now is redirecting you toward an opportunity you couldn't even imagine? What if every wrong turn, every failure is simply life's way of guiding you to exactly where you need to be at exactly the right moment? Now here's the lesson. You cannot rush your growth. You cannot demand results before you're ready. You cannot force timing to bend to your will. You can, however, prepare yourself, strengthen yourself, learn from every experience. Because when the time is right, everything comes together. And here's what's beautiful. By trusting the timing, you stop resisting life. You stop blaming. You stop worrying about what should have been or could have been. Instead, you focus on what matters. Your growth, your actions, your character. Now think about it. Success doesn't arrive by accident. Opportunities don't knock randomly. Breakthroughs don't appear out of nowhere. Everything unfolds in its own time, according to a rhythm that is far wiser than your impatience. Now listen carefully. The struggle you face today, the waiting you endure, the lesson you don't yet understand, all of it is preparing you. All of it is part of the reason. So here's the challenge. Stop rushing. Stop forcing. Stop trying to control the timing of life. Instead, trust it. Learn from it. Prepare for it. Because when you do, when you finally align your actions with life's timing, you will see it clearly. Everything really does happen for a reason. And when that moment arrives, you will be ready. You will be strong. You will understand that nothing in your life was wasted. Everything happens for a reason. Even the setbacks, even the failures, even the moments that break your heart. Life teaches, always, if you're willing to learn. Now listen carefully. Most people hate challenges. They resist them. They complain about them. They ask, why me? Why now? Why this? And in doing so, they miss the lesson. You see, challenges are not punishments. They are teachers. And not all lessons are easy. Not all lessons are comfortable. Think about it. When you face a problem, a setback, or a failure, you are being handed a mirror. A mirror that shows your weaknesses, your fears, your habits, your areas where growth is needed. Now listen. Most people see a mirror and run. They avoid the reflection. They pretend it isn't there. But the person who grows, the person destined for success, looks at the mirror. They study it. They ask, what can I learn? How can I improve? Now consider this. Every difficult situation, every trial, every heartbreak is a chance to learn. It teaches patience. It teaches resilience. It teaches humility. It teaches discipline. It teaches perspective. And here's the truth. Without challenges, you remain the same. Without obstacles, you stagnate. Without pressure, you never discover your strength. Think about steel. Steel becomes strong only when it's forged under heat. It is hammered and folded until it can withstand tremendous pressure. Your life works the same way. Challenges forge character. Trials build strength. Setbacks teach wisdom. Now listen carefully. The next time you face a difficulty, don't ask why me. Ask, what is this teaching me? Ask, how can I use this to grow? Because that is the difference between someone who is defeated by life and someone who is strengthened by it. Now let's go deeper. Sometimes the lessons are obvious. A mistake at work teaches you skill. A conflict with a friend teaches communication. But often, the lessons are hidden. A failure may be showing you the wrong path. A disappointment may be redirecting you towards something greater. A loss may be preparing you for a bigger gain. And here's the thing. You will not always understand it immediately. You will not always see the purpose in the moment. That is why trust is necessary. Trust that even when it hurts, even when it's confusing, even when you feel lost, there is a reason. There is a design, a bigger picture. And one day, the lesson will become clear. Now listen carefully. Challenges do not define you. Your response to challenges defines you. You can complain, blame, and give up. Or you can observe, learn, and grow. And here's the beautiful part. Every challenge you face, every setback you endure, adds value to your life. It makes you stronger. It makes you wiser. It makes you more prepared for the opportunities that are coming. Now ask yourself, have you ever looked back at a painful experience and realized it was one of the best things that ever happened to you? That's the power of lessons behind every challenge. Now let me give you something simple. Stop resisting difficulty. Stop fearing failure. Stop blaming circumstances. Instead, embrace the lessons. Reflect on the experience. Extract the value. And move forward, stronger and wiser. Because here's the ultimate truth. Life does not give you challenges to break you. It gives you challenges to shape you, to teach you, to prepare you. And when you start seeing every obstacle, every failure, every heartbreak as a teacher, you stop fearing life. You stop questioning your path. You start growing with every step. Remember this, nothing in your life is wasted. Everything that happens, everything that challenges you, everything that pushes you is preparing you for the life you are meant to live. Everything really happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. Every challenge, every setback, every failure, every heartbreak. And once you understand that, the question changes from why me to what now? Now, listen carefully. The greatest mistake people make after a setback is believing it has nothing to offer. They look at the event, the failure, the pain, and see only loss. They feel stuck. They feel defeated. But here's the truth. Life doesn't hand out experiences without purpose. Even the difficult ones are gifts, not always wrapped in joy, not always easy to see, but gifts nonetheless. Now ask yourself, what are you doing with your lessons? Are they just memories, stories of what went wrong? Or are they building blocks, tools, fuel for the life you're meant to live? Think about it. A failure in business may teach you resilience. A heartbreak may teach you empathy. A lost opportunity may teach you preparation. A delay may teach you patience. The question is, will you apply the lessons? Will you allow them to shape you, or will you let them define you? Now, listen carefully. Applying the lessons requires action. Reflection alone is not enough. Understanding alone is not enough. You must take what life teaches and use it to move forward. And here's the secret. Growth is cumulative. The lessons you apply today prepare you for the opportunities tomorrow. The mistakes you correct today become the foundation for your success. Let me give you an example. Imagine you faced a major setback. Perhaps you lost a job, or a relationship ended, or a business failed. At first, it feels like a dead end, a door closing, a life paused. But if you take a step back, reflect on what went wrong, and take action to improve, suddenly, the setback becomes a stepping stone. It becomes a guide. It becomes the reason you're stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what's next. Now consider this. Every successful person you admire, every person who has overcome enormous obstacles, didn't get there because life was easy. They got there because they learned. They got there because they applied the lessons. They didn't resist the process. They embraced it. They saw the reason behind the struggle. And then they acted. Now here's the key. Applying the lessons requires humility. It requires reflection. It requires honesty with yourself. You must admit where you went wrong. You must see your weaknesses. You must accept responsibility. Because without responsibility, the lesson remains unlearned. The failure remains repeated. The opportunity remains lost. And here's another truth. You cannot change the past. You cannot rewrite the failures. You cannot undo the pain. But you can change what happens next. You can take the wisdom from yesterday and create a better tomorrow. Now, listen carefully. The process of moving forward starts with a choice. A choice to see life differently. A choice to see every experience as part of your preparation. A choice to ask, what can I learn? How can I grow? And then a second choice. A choice to act, to make the necessary changes, to improve yourself, to step boldly into the next chapter. Now consider this. Every challenge you face, every failure you endure, every disappointment you experience is not the end. It is not punishment. It is not meaningless. It is preparation. It is guidance. It is life teaching you, shaping you, moving you towards something greater. And when you start living this way, you stop fearing setbacks. You stop resisting difficulties. You stop asking, why me? Instead, you ask, what now? What lesson can I apply? How can I grow from this? And that is where transformation begins. Now let me give you the final truth. Life will continue to challenge you. Life will continue to surprise you. Life will continue to test you. But if you trust the process, if you see the purpose, if you apply the lessons, you will always move forward. You will always grow stronger. You will always be prepared for the opportunities that await. Everything happens for a reason. And the final step is yours. To apply the lesson, to move forward, and to live a life shaped by understanding, not by regret. Because when you do this, you don't just survive life, you thrive in it. You don't just exist. You live fully, intentionally, and wisely. And that, my friend, is the ultimate power of knowing that everything really happens for a reason. So remember, life is always teaching, even in the hard times, even in the moments of doubt, even when it doesn't make sense. The struggles, the failures, the delays, they are not random. They are guidance. They are preparation. They are lessons. Trust the process. Learn from every challenge. Apply the lessons. Move forward with patience, courage, and faith. Because when you do, you stop asking, why me? And start asking, what now? And in that shift, you discover the true meaning of life. That everything really happens for a reason.